Hi everybody, my name is Alexa and I am going to show you how I work often at home on the kitchen table making collage works usually, and I'm going to show you how I work intuitively, and hopefully this will be helpful for you at home. So first of all, before I start, the things that you might need, I like working with a knife. I've got a little scalpel here, it's very sharp. You could work with scissors or get somebody to help you using scissors. Scissors, glue. You could use PVA if you like, but I prefer to use a stick glue. And I've got some other materials like paint brushes and just whatever I've got lying around, some pens that belong to my kids, that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is show you what I do and sort of hold it up as I go along. So, oh yes, and so the other main thing you need is a bank of material. So here I've got Vogue. I've also just got lots of art images that I've collected over the years that I use. Things that are just lying around the house. Lists, that could be a good background. Even there's a little note that my sister wrote me. That could be a good background. So you don't even have to have a really nice pad of paper to make your work on. That's just a scrap of paper, that will do too. Oh look. And here's a piece of marble paper that I made in the studio, which you can make at home, and I can show you another time how to do that. It's super easy. But that's another good thing to have as a background. And it's good to work on a number of different collages at the same time, because if you work on just the one, you might get a bit precious and a bit stuck and stale. And the beauty of collage, I'm just going to start cutting, is you don't need to stick it down to the very end. So there are often many different variables to the finished work, which you could even photograph as you go along before you stick it down. So I've looked through this Vogue and I found a pair of hands. It's a Max Mara advert. And I just usually go for something figurative. A figure, a face, hands. I just kind of always go for that kind of thing. I've taught a lot of collage classes and people just choose different things. That's the beauty of art making. You could give everybody the same material and they will always make something very, very, very different to the next person. So here we go. I've cut out the hands. And as I start to peel them out, what I've done is actually put an image behind already. So that's cut out. The silhouette of the hands has happened. Here we go. And I just chose a painting from my other bank of material to put behind it. So here we go, we've got something kind of interesting that's happened almost by chance. And then you have the actual image that you've cut out as well, which is the hands. Okay. So the two shapes echo each other, and even the back of the hands could be interesting. I used to have a tutor who used to say to me, always do the opposite of what you want to do. So when you want to stick something down that way, you could perhaps force yourself to stick it down that way and just see what happens. Right, so we've got that, we've got those two shapes. Then we've also got the negative space, so keep that, that's always really useful. This space in here is called the negative space, and that can be just as special and important as the piece that you've cut out. So I'm going to get a piece of paper now. Just going to move this back a bit so you can see a bit more as I go. Piece of paper. I'm going to do this towards you. And then I've got the hand shape here, and I'm going to use it as a stencil. And I've got a bit of water and a brush. Just get a bit of watercolour colour. And what I'm doing is kind of stenciling on some colours. So I'm holding down the piece of paper that has the negative shape on it of the hands. And I'm brushing from the stencil onto the paper, right? Holding it down as I go. So you're sort of brushing in and away from the stencil. And this is just to build up a background. Here we go. So that's what I've done, and I'm going to peel away the negative space. And we've got some kind of silhouette of the hands. Now the hands could perhaps go there. Again, the shape kind of echoing. Or you could even think about putting something like that over the top as well. I'm going to put this to the side to dry just now. And just think about sticking the hands on something else. Or maybe we'll just cut something else out, just for fun. I had some other things here. Here we go. Okay, so we have a George Braque painting here, and that piece of marble paper that I showed you earlier. And I'm just going to do the same with the knife. Let's do it with the scissors this time so you can see it like that. Holding the piece of paper together, and then I'm just cutting the marble paper, which is behind the Braque painting. Here we go. And I'm just cutting out that figure, the silhouette of the figure, with the marble paper behind. And I mean, you'll do this better than me. You need to take your time. Take your time. I'm too slapdash. See the negative shape? The negative space coming away? Keep that as well. Okay, so there we go. We've got the Braque figure, and then we've got that little piece of marble figure as well. And actually, looks really nice on there. There is an art to gluing. You'd think that it would be easy just to glue with Pritt stick, but there is actually a real art to gluing, which I can show you another time. Anyway, I'll leave you looking at this collage I've just been working on in collaboration with my children at home. And that's using the same kind of method, a bit of painting and a bit of collage. Anyway, I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.